Welcome to the Top Listing Agent Show, the place to be to stay on the cutting edge of what it takes to sell more homes in less time. Each week, your host, Chadi Bazzi, will share with you the best skill sets, systems, and strategies so you can become a top listing agent. And now, let the show begin.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Top Listing Agent Show. Chadi Bazzi here today, bringing you an amazing guest by the name of Jeff Latham. Did I pronounce your last name correct, or did I butcher it?
You pronounced it perfectly.
Awesome. Love it. So, Jeff, we're going to begin by you introducing yourself to our Top Listing Agent community in our Top Listing Agent Show podcast. So tell the world who you are. Who is this amazing Jeff Latham?
Awesome. Well, first off, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be able to contribute. And my intention is that this is going to be a powerful conversation. Who am I? God, I'm a father, first and foremost, to three amazing children. I have a 7-year-old named Ellie, a 4-year-old named Stella, and a 7-month-old boy named Maverick. Got an amazing wife named Royale Latham. I lead a team called Latham Realty Unlimited, where we're kind of that one-stop shop. We sell homes, we buy homes, we build homes, we flip homes, and we invest. And in addition to that, I just love to play, man. I love to fly airplanes. I love to play on a boat. I just love to just do epic things, and compete in Ironmans, triathlons, and just really become the best version of myself that I can possibly be. And I just feel like I'm on this consistent upward spiral of life, and it just keeps getting better and better. And, life is good, man. And I'm just excited to be here today.
Love it. Sounds to me like you got a lot of balance. You like to, work hard, play hard, and, live life to the fullest.
Somewhat, man. I'm not sure if it's balance or I just kind of weave business in and out of my life, so I just flow with it,
Beautiful. Jeff, how long you been selling real estate?
Since 2002.
Since
so
2002.
16 years.
So 16 years in the business. I'm just curious, what got you into real estate?
I was in college. I was in a course called Study Skills. I didn't know I was going to college for. I was just kind of trying to figure out who I wanted to be when I grew up. And this teacher, she says, I don't teach for the money. I teach because I love it. If I wanted to make money, I'd go sell real estate. And this light bulb kind of went off my head, and my mother sold real estate at the time. And I went home and I told her I was going to drop out of college and sell real estate. And she did her best to lovingly discourage me because she knows how brutal the industry can be. And, the next day I dropped out of college, signed up, got my real estate license, and just hit the ground running.
Awesome. So everyone, if you're in college, drop out. If you want to make money, get into real estate, right?
Well, there may be some truth to that. I mean, I look at all my buddies that went to college and humbly speaking, I'm just crushing, the goals compared to a lot of them that are coming out 6 years out of college making 40, 50 grand a year, right?
Right. With $100,000 in debt.
My girls won't be going to college. I'll be putting them through Tony Robbins' Platinum Partnership coaching programs or something that's more on purpose, that's going to put them around the proximity of the higher caliber people. I can go all day long on college, but I just don't know if it's relevant anymore.
We're not going to go there. We just want to focus on, hey, if you are in real estate, you have a great opportunity to make a lot of money and, live life to the fullest. And that's what we want to help you do.
Yeah.
And all right, so here you are, you drop out of college, you get involved in real estate, did the Mercedes come with the license? Did you start making money right away? What was your experience like, building your way up all the way to where you're at right now?
Sure. So I had a full-time job at Albertsons. I was the assistant produce manager, and I was working 40 hours a week, and I just started selling real estate on the side. And then what happened is my part-time job of selling real estate, that income started to surpass the income of having a regular job. And I had to make that decision and make that transition and just kind of cut the tides and burn the ships, cut the cords, burn the ships, and go for it. And, but my first year, I think I only sold like 4 homes or so. I made like 15 grand. And then the second year, it increased. And I think by the second year, I quit my job and went all in. And then all the way up to about 2007, I was making about 180 grand a year at 27 years old. And then Armageddon came in 2008. and spanked me. It was a good one. And then I hired my first coach in 2010 and learned how to sell homes to people that didn't know me through marketing. And then we just built a team and grew from there to, we're averaging a couple hundred units a year.
Good. So what will you do this year? Like how many units are you on track for 2018?
We'll do about 200, roughly 65 million.
Okay. So about 200 homes, 65 million. And what is your team like? Like, what are we talking about? Like 3 people, 5 people, 10 people?
My real estate company, we have 3 admin, 1 ISA, and about 8 agents right now.
Got it.
Actually 12 licensed though, because my admin are licensed as well.
Got it. Would you consider yourself to be more of a listing agent? Like is your business is it heavier on the listing side than the buyer side, or is there like an equal balance? What does your business look like?
It's actually kind of transitioned to become more listing centric. We used to be really buyer heavy. I mean, we know how to crush buyer business, and we had to shift because the inventory deficiency, we had to really make that shift. And so now we're 50-50.
Okay.
But what's cool is we're buying a lot of homes. We bought about 25 homes in the last year. And Chadi, what's interesting is when I come into these appointments now, I meet people, I say, look, I can buy your home here. I can list your home here. I could help you fix up your home and sell it here. What's best for you? And a lot of people appreciate that certainty, and they just want me to buy their home.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found is certainty is more important to people than an elevated reward for selling their home. I've had people literally leave 30 or 40 grand on the table and have me buy their home just to make sure that they can have their home sold and go and buy their new home. And so it's been really, really beneficial adding that leg to our business.
Good. It makes it a win-win for every single person.
Oh yeah, big time.
And it gives you a huge edge over the competition because your competitors cannot go in there and say, hey, I have the opportunity to buy your home if you want to sell it to me right away.
Yeah, they really don't stand a chance. It's powerful. It's I used to have this 30-page PowerPoint presentation with our 27 bullet point marketing program and all this stuff. I take them through. Now I just go in there. I'm like, what's the outcome you're looking for? How can I help you? And I listen, right? And then from there, we just figure out what's best for them. I say, look, I could buy it here or I can list it here. And most of these people, they talk me into buying their home under market value. It's so crazy. But what I found is one of the human needs is very important to most people is certainty. And it's more important than 30 or 40 grand. It's incredible. I always thought as a fiduciary, my job is to get people as much money for their home as possible. Yet some people just want that certainty. And so it's just been really powerful to help us to just win, and really help the clients. And so we just go in there and from a position of love and contribution and we connect, and then we just figure out what we can do to serve them.
I'm just taking notes right here on some of the things that are, I want to highlight in the conversations. Like, here's what I've already wrote. I put down, you listen. You're thinking about what's, best, for the client. You talked about help the client. You talked about love. You talked about contribution. You talked about connection. You talked about serving the client. These are the things that the average agent, the average person periodly does not speak about. And I think that is one of the main reasons why most people don't build a huge successful business is because they're driven more by the paycheck than they are by serving. Can you speak about that for a little bit?
The paycheck is a consequence of loving people and taking care of them. It's amazing. Like, I've pulled myself out of production at one time and reached that false mountain of the 7th level. And I came back in and buddy, when I go and meet people, I get fired up. Like, I get energized because I just meet all these amazing people and I leave there like, holy smokes. I just connect with them. I feel like I can see into people's souls. And I could feel it. Like, I walk into the door and some of these people hug me when they meet me. And it's amazing. It's the weirdest thing, this weirdest shift. But I don't sell anything. I just go meet them. And then I just say, hey, if you want to do business together, great. If not, I'll point you in the right direction. And the money just is a consequence of really caring about people. I love it. I get charged up meeting people. It's really strange. It took me 15, 16 years to figure this out.
See, and that's exactly like, my training, I teach the art of persuasion and the art of influence, and I teach NLP and all that good stuff. And, the mastery of the listing presentation, and I tell all my people is, it's okay to have a canned listing presentation in the beginning if you really don't understand sales and psychology, and that could serve as a foundation for you. But you got to go above and beyond that. You got to become, compassionate. You got to become passionate. You got, and I'm talking about compassion and passion, about loving people and caring for people, and not allowing your clients to make a wrong decision that's not going to serve them. And as long as you put them first, okay, even though you may not be the expert in the marketplace, they will hire you because they feel that connection with you. Like, you said, you go in there, they want to hug you because they feel like they've known you forever. They feel like you really care about them. And no sales tactic in the world can go up against that. None.
No, not a chance. A lot of people communicate, but very few connect.
Yeah.
I literally feel these people, and it's just, I think it's just remembering who we are. We go through this process in life where we forget that how powerful we are, and how we are all connected, and how we are a child of God, right? And you go through this process, and you learn the sales and the NLP and all this stuff, and persuading, and then these sales tactics, and really it's all about just caring about people.
Yep, absolutely. Love it, man. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. You talked about certainty, having, people feel that, that certainty. And can we talk about certainty, not more in regards to, the client, but more on how important is it for a real estate agent, a real estate professional to have certainty themselves first? I mean, would you agree with me that you got to have that certainty before you could, transfer that certainty to someone else?
Yeah, and I think we're talking about two different things. Maybe you got confidence and certainty, right? And there's 6 human needs, and you have significance, certainty, uncertainty, love and connection, growth and contribution. And most people focus on having certainty and significance. It's all about me, and then they need consistency and a safe paycheck, and that's what they shoot for. But what I found is when you focus on the inside out, love and growth and contribution, and significance, and all the other human needs show up. And so I guess where I'm going with this is, an agent, what I found is there's actually power in uncertainty, meaning you wake up every day unemployed. You don't have that paycheck. You're not punching a clock where you have a consistent income coming in. And in that uncertainty, it gives you the opportunity to really go after your goals and your dreams, and live a bigger life, and create more, which then on the back end gives you the certainty. Isn't that weird how that works out? They kind of say, do what's comfortable and you'll be uncomfortable, and do what's uncomfortable, you'll be comfortable. And it was just a weird realization that I was talking with my team about the other day, is there's certainty in the uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
100%. 100%. And talking about let's talk about, clarity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Clarity, you mentioned the word goals, etc. How, just for you on a personal level, how clear are you about, your goals, your vision, the future that you want to create for yourself?
Very clear.
Okay.
And it's another, and I feel like I'm just having all these revolutions, is that word I'm looking for? I'm learning all these new tactics, or the tactic is there is no tactic. I've built so many 90-day business plans and 12-week year plans and step-by-step plans. And what I've learned is when you have a very clear intention coupled with flexibility, the plan actually shows up after the intention is spoken into existence. But we're always trying to reverse engineer it, or say, I'm going to do this, this, and this, make this many calls a day, and then this outcome's going to happen. Yet when you just say, hey, this is what the outcome's going to be, the reticular activator system goes to work and develops a plan for you, because the opportunities show up, and every day is like an Easter egg hunt. It's like, boom, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. And you just start seeing it. I saw this great post this morning, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but it said, the brain will only pay attention to what the ears hear, and oh, buddy, I can't even remember. I'm going to find it later. I'm going to pull it up. But basically, it's your RAS, right? It only pays attention to what it is you want, and the plan shows up.
Cool. So, you know, a lot of people that come into, you know, my training programs, you know, they come to me for different reasons. And the majority of the reasons are, how do I generate more leads? You know, how do I sharpen my axe? How do I become a better salesperson? And yes, we do work on those things, but what they find out is that we spend the majority of the time in the beginning working on, how do I get your mind right? You know, how do I get you to become a little bit more clear as to what is your why, what is your purpose? Because once we get that, the rest is easy. And I think that's what you're saying in different words.
Yeah, what it is our eyes only see and our ears only hear what our brain is looking for.
Right.
So you're spot on. And I think sometimes we get just hung up in the how.
Yeah.
How am I going to make this happen? How am I going to do this? And really, you know, you just got to say yes and figure it out later.
Right. So the why is more important than the how is what you're saying.
Yeah. Just, you got to get that clear intention. I mean, we're so powerful. We can literally speak things into existence if we believe it and have the faith, which is when desire meets expectation. Yet it has to be coupled with the flexibility of it's going to show up in different avenues. Here's an example. My intention is to create $20,000 a month passive income from my rental properties within 1 year, like starting on my anniversary, which was 4 days ago. And I declared it, I spoke it into existence, and now the opportunities are already just showing up. Boom, boom, boom. And I believe it'll be 40 homes, $500 a month, cash flow, passive income from them. Yet I'm not married to that plan, meaning cash flow. Like someone said, hey, I have this piece of dirt, vacant land that I want to sell. What can I do with it? And my mind is already looking. It's like, I could buy that and have it be a storage unit for people's RVs, and then add another 500 or 2,000 a month of passive income. Or maybe I can take one of my homes I'm flipping and turn that into an Airbnb and bring in $6,000 a month, you know? So I guess what I'm sharing with you is the plan's showing up, the how is showing up after declaring it. And there's flexibility coupled with that.
So as long as you get it, you get it. I mean, it may not show up exactly how you want it to, like the packaging may be different, but what's inside the package is the actual result, you know, from within the intention in what it is that you wanted.
Yes. Yes.
Love it. Okay.
It's so powerful.
Yeah. You also mentioned a couple of words, you mentioned the word belief in faith. Okay.
Yes.
I find that a lot of people out there are looking for someone to believe in them because they don't believe in themselves. Do you believe in you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Did you always, you know, have that belief system within yourself, or was that something you had to work towards acquiring and building up?
I think when we're children, it's ingrained in our DNA. And then I think somehow it gets beat out of us in traditional school or something. And then we go on this journey. And as we awaken again, we learn that we are powerful and we are, you know, children of God, and we can be, do, and have anything we want. And we have superpowers. And then what happens is we start seeing what people would call miracles or luck, coincidence show up. And they're like, oh my God, it's amazing. And then you start to realize, wait a minute, no, I can actually manipulate reality with my thoughts. And then you do more and more of that. And you can figure that out based on the evidence of looking backwards of everything you've been able to do. And that gives you confidence moving forward. And then you start toying with it. You're like, what else can I speak into existence? Like, I mean, I literally put things on the screensaver of my phone, and then I just watch them appear and manifest into this physical reality. Airplane, a boat, my house, you know, with this view, everything. Like they're just little hacks. And so it's incredible. We are creators.
Yeah.
And we have that power.
So how does one reach that level of, like you said, we're all born, with, a strong belief system. And then, throughout, as we grow up, that belief gets beating out of us. How does one get that belief back? Because look, I always tell every single person, I don't have any tattoos, but if I were to get a tattoo, I would tattoo just one word on my body, and it's the word believe, because I never like literally believed in myself growing up, low self-esteem, shy, introvert, just, my belief system was everyone else can do it, I cannot. And until I acquired that belief system is when I became unstoppable. Okay. So what is it like? What is one or two or three things you can tell somebody out there? Here's what I want you to do to build up your belief system so you can experience what you rightfully deserve to experience, which is abundance.
Oh, good question. I think there's a couple things. There's a couple books that are some mind benders that I've read that were really good. One is The Magic of Believing.
Yeah, man. Look, here's the thing, bro. That's Claude Bristol. We're talking about Magic of Believing with look, man, that book is like, if you watch all my interviews with all my students, I will say, hey, what's one book do you recommend? Every single interview is the same exact book, The Magic of Believing. Yes. Awesome. What's another book?
3 Magic Words.
3 Magic Words.
And Ewell S. Grant that wrote that one. And then the other one that was brought into my attention yesterday was the Master Key System, which is Napoleon Hill learned off of that, and Abraham Hicks material. I mean, this metaphysical stuff is so powerful. It just makes life friction free. So I would start with that, reading that stuff, and then just toy around with it, dance with it. Throw a picture of a goal on your cell phone and watch it just manifest into your reality, whether it's a boat, helicopter, I don't know, dirt bike, whatever it may be. Just toy with it and measure backwards. Look at all the things you've created and just understand that there's forces that are unseen that are responsible for 99% of everything that happens in life. When you let go and let God take care of it, life becomes friction free, and you could just dance with it and flow and be plugged in. And I mean, how'd you and I meet? I don't know. We're here though. Right? Law of attraction.
Exactly. And I'm like so happy that I met you, because like we're both speaking, the right language. And, my intention is to, attract the right people into my life. Okay. And I give every single person equal opportunity. I don't judge by the way they look. I don't judge by their level of production. That person could be someone that's doing 20 deals a year, not 200. And I'd be just as excited about speaking to that person, because that person is going to break somebody from doing their 5 deals a year to their 20, etc. And man, like attracts like. You're absolutely right. We manifested this conversation 100%. And going back to that, the belief. So you said, number one thing is, read. I mean, the information is out there. You just got to, grab the information. And maybe you are someone who's watching and or listening to this interview, and maybe you can't afford a book. Okay, you can walk into your local library, and I guarantee you one of those 3 books that you just mentioned is there, and you can begin that way. And truth be told, that was one of the ways that I began when I couldn't shell out 15, 20 bucks for a book 20, 25 years ago. I went into the library and I checked out as many books as I possibly can. And, I never graduated college or anything like that. I'm self-taught, but self-taught doesn't mean just, being out there in the field. It began with reading a huge amount of books and just, instilling this brain with as much information as I possibly can, to the point where it gave me the confidence to be able to speak about just about anything without even having to worry about what is going to come out of my mouth. I trust that whatever is going to come out of my mouth is exactly what the person in front of me wants to hear, needs to hear, in order for us to connect at a high level and, take our relationship to a whole new level. And again, it goes back to the word belief, but that belief was acquired by a specific set of information and actions I had to take. So one is read books. Is there anything that someone can, is there an exercise that someone can do on a daily basis that will help somebody create a stronger belief system, Jeff?
I don't know. I think it's like a muscle. You just got to flex it.
Yeah.
Right. And you got to work it and stretch it and just start playing with it. And repetition is the mother of all skill. So I think you just got to start, and and then it'll happen. I also having the awareness, knowing that where we are in our life is a reflection of our thoughts, which are causative, right? Somewhat, and then dancing with life is kind of how it works.
Good. So we keep on going back towards like
Yeah.
thoughts and belief and all that stuff, and obviously everything's taking place inside, you know, your head. Do you believe in affirmations? Like, do you do affirmations? Do you believe in affirmations?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think I'm in a constant state of affirmations, right? You know, just like we're walking around in a constant state of prayer, if you will, always looking at what our desires are and the outcomes. I watched this video on YouTube about this gentleman I've been started following. I can't think of his name, but have you seen the Yashimoto water experiment where the guy talks to the water and they give it positive words of affirmation, and then the other bottle, they give it negative words, and you can see the distinctive difference in the water quality? Well, we all know that speaking things into existence in positive words, and what he does is he starts talking to his body. He says, you know, you're strong, you're fit, you're getting leaner, and he's seen his physiology change. Man, that's just so amazing. I already know the stuff, and I wasn't doing it, right? So to kind of circle back to what you're saying, starting to make sure I'm intentional with everything I know and putting it into practice, and just watching the evidence unfold is what we're doing.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we talked a lot about, you know, the mindset here and how important it is. And I think we've given people a good direction for them to begin to be able to do that. And then, you know, above and beyond the thoughts, there's still certain things you got to do every single day in order for you to, you know, level up and take your business to the next level and, you know, get a paycheck and pay your bills and, you know, do all those things. How do you generate business?
Sure. So through Facebook specifically, we send out mailers, and then we also have a company called 1,000 Calls a Day, and they make outbound phone calls to this list of properties that fit what we're looking to buy, and they make the calls and set the appointments for us. And what else do we do? Open houses, and that's really it, I think. Pay-per-click, of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you said Facebook, open houses, mailers, and 1,000 calls a day.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of repeat referral business by any chance? I mean, obviously, you're doing a couple hundred transactions a year. You got to be getting some kind of repeat referral business.
Yeah, we're about 30%.
Okay, 30%, 60, 70 deals a year. Awesome.
Yeah,
does that come by default, or does that come on purpose?
Yeah. Yeah, I could be more intentional with it. Yeah, that's just default.
Okay.
All right.
So do you use a specific CRM that you would recommend for anybody to manage your past clients, centers of influence, et cetera, or are you still using an Excel spreadsheet?
I mean, we use Commissions Inc., of course, yet I don't think I haven't witnessed one that's like consistent. I mean, we use viral marketing and they touch on our people and stuff like that. But other than that, it's about it.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So let's talk about the listing presentation.
Sure.
That's like a hot topic. Two hot topics are listing presentation and objection handling. Okay, everybody wants to know, how do I handle this objection? Let's talk about objection handling first. How important is it for someone to master the art of handling objections?
I think it's important, to hear people and listen. Sometimes objections aren't objections, right? Like a commission reduction or something. Sometimes people just need to get things out of their brain to talk about it. And they don't necessarily need a response, maybe just an acknowledgement. I don't really get a lot of objections now because I just go in there with confidence. I am the guy that can get shit done, like I tell them, whatever outcome you're looking for, I can handle it. I've sold over 1,000 homes.
Man, I'm loving this conversation. Keep going.
And I come from a different position. I mean, you're either the prize or the prisoner, and two people can't pursue each other, right? And I come from a position of no need. Like, if I don't get the listing, I'm okay with it. And people can smell commission breath a mile away. And so I think when you're in an alignment and you just come from a position of knowing that there's abundance, there's business everywhere, and not needing the business, then they're like, wait a minute, you know, is different than the other agents that they interview that are hungry, they're pushing them and trying to close on them. It's just it's a different energetic exchange.
Yeah, and I think that, we said let's talk about objection handling, let's talk about the listing presentation, and here you come out and say, well, I really don't get any objections, and the reason being, and I'm going to go back and circle around to this, and I'm going to say the reason you don't get any objections is, number one, you're coming from a space of contribution. Okay,
Yeah.
number two, you're listening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I say you're listening is the foundation to all your powers of influence. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're connecting, you're about serving. I mean, if you're listening and you're finding out what people are all about and what it is that they want to accomplish, and you focus that conversation, a huge part of your listing presentation on, here's how I can help you accomplish that goal, then there are no objections.
No.
Objections get eliminated within your listing presentation.
Yes. And as far as the presentation, I don't even have one. I mean, it used to be awkward. I set up my laptop and run them through this PowerPoint and make sure I'm positioned correctly on the table with the husband on one side and the wife right next to me, making sure I'm paying attention to the wife, because if I don't, then she's going to get mad and she's the decision maker and all this stuff. And now I just go in there and I'm like, what's the outcome you guys are looking for?
Yeah.
Great. And then I just talk more. And we usually don't even talk about real estate. I look on the walls and I see if they have pictures of their family. I ask them about their family, or I see pictures of them hunting or fishing. I mean, I can connect with somebody that rides dirt bikes, that flies airplanes, that's into mixed martial arts, you name it. I just connect. And then I talk, then maybe we might cover a little bit about real estate, and we move on. I let them know what their home's worth. And then from there, sometimes it's just a secondary conversation after I decide, okay, what can I do? And I tell them what I can buy it for, what I can sell it for. And I leave the ball in their court. There's no pressure. I don't, whether they list with me doesn't make a difference on whether or not I can make my mortgage payment.
Yeah.
And I tell them that.
So basically you're 100% detached.
Yes.
Where everyone is so is so attached. How does one remove the attachment?
That's a good question. I think you just do it after doing enough business. It's no longer a need, I mean, it's no longer the competitive nature and the desire for me to win still there. It's just, I don't come from a position of need. I just know business is always flowing to me.
Right, and it's good to be in your position because you will do a couple hundred transactions. You got the passive income, and you're doing, a combination of different things. Let's just speak to the person who's maybe doing about a deal or two every single month right now, and looking to do 3, 4, 5 deals a month eventually. They're still attached to, creating that paycheck because, they got to pay their mortgage, they got to feed their children, they got to make ends meet. What do we want to say to that person? What's the best advice you can give that person?
Just figure out what it is your client wants and ask. And then just ask them the question. Say, I understand what I heard you say is you want your home sold by September so your children can be in the new school. Is that correct? And I'll say, yes. Say, great. If I can make that happen and guarantee it, can we do business together? They're going to say yes. I mean, people will tell you how to sell them, if you will, or what their outcome that they desire. And if you just ask for it, listen, repeat it back to them and tell them you can do that, knowing you can, then it's pretty easy. You don't need a presentation or anything. You just need to have confidence. They just want to know that you're the guy that's going to get it done.
Okay. You know what? And we're going to keep on circling back to the same exact thing. And that right there is just, a belief. Again, it goes back to the belief system. If you believe you are that person, if you believe you're there to serve, if you believe, that the universe, God, whatever you believe in is going to take care of you as a result of, you having the right intention and doing what is in the best interest of whoever you connect with, there's no need for attachment, because if it's not this person, magically another one will appear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. You're just it's like you're kind of just turning over rocks, right? You just meet people, and some of them work with you and some of them don't, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Right.
And the right ones will work with you. And I've had times where we get so good, we win the wrong people too. And we're like, gosh, dang it. It's okay to say no, you know?
Yeah. You're
So
right.
it's just fun, man. You just dance with life
Yep.
and
And
unfolds perfectly.
and that's exactly what I always tell my clients. I said, you got to get to the point to where you could be you and know that you're doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And in doing so, you will repel the wrong people, but you will attract more of the right people to be working with. And there's nothing like having a business to where you look forward to calling up your seller. You're not afraid to call your seller. You look forward to, tell your buyers, how to do what they need to do in order to get their offer accepted, without being attached to like, oh my God, if I tell them this, then they're not going to want to write up the offer, and then they're going to write up a lowball offer, etc. So it's all about getting comfortable within your own skin and really accepting the fact that you are good enough.
That's it. You are enough, buddy. And I used to wear a suit and tie and dress this part of and wear this mask of this professional. And when I just became my authentic self and removed the mask and was rough around the edges and wore a ball cap and showed up, tattoos and just being me, people love it. They're like, wow, a real person.
Yeah.
Because they can just smell your bullshit a mile away. You see these people are shooting videos and they got their tie just perfect and they're scripted, and then, man, this world is just craving authenticity and real people, and there's just so much power in that.
Yeah. And you know what? I keep referencing four things, and I say, if you are being authentic, if you are being genuine, if you are being sincere, if you are being honest, if you're being those four things, who the heck would reject those four things?
Right.
No one.
Yeah, it's like a breath of fresh air. There's so many people that like so used to being sold, and when they see a normal person, they can relate with them.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jeff, did you always see yourself becoming like the earlier part of your career, not like, until you really got it together and all that stuff? Did you always see yourself as becoming this, mega top agent doing a couple hundred transactions, huge passive income, and living the life of his dreams? Or did you always buy into that, or was that something you had to buy into?
I think it's just something that's naturally unfolded. When I was young, I was always I was competitive to win, and I'd ask my dad, like, who makes the most amount of money? Because that when I was 7, that was kind of the filter I'd look it through. And he says, a dentist. You want to be a dentist? I was like, all right, But as I evolved, I think on my own, I was selling like 37 homes a year back when I was 27, and I thought if you sold 50 homes a year, you were the best. And and then when I went to this conference, and I seen agents that were selling 300, 400, 500 homes a year. Was possible, and so then I chased that number, and the most we got up to was about 280. It was about 85 million, and then I just realized, really, the goal is always shifting, right? The outcome's always shifting, and now it's not about winning and selling more homes or making more money. It's about my new outcome is just that passive income, to have the freedom to just be able to work for fun,
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't know if that answers your question, but it's just a consistent evolution, right? And after that goal's accomplished, I don't know what's next. I'm sure there'll be another one. It's just it's a consistent upward spiral.
Yeah, it's not going to be, flying planes. It's going to be like, how do I build like a little mini airport for myself so I can put my planes on it, et cetera.
Hell
And
yeah.
I know people like that. Like, I know people that have their own little small airport. It's just crazy. I can't even fathom that, but it is what it is. And what would you say has been your biggest struggle and or challenge in building up a business?
Biggest challenge or struggle, I would say cutting out the noise. There's a lot of people out there that have advice and opinions, and I think just really not chasing too many shiny objects and just really focusing on the end game. I got to the point to where I started having to say no to things. So I think I was just always saying yes to too many things.
Mm-hmm. So keeping the focus on the main thing.
Yes.
How do you deal with challenges? When challenges come up or obstacles come up, are you the kind of guy that gets pissed off immediately, or how do you deal with things when things just don't go your way?
That's a great question. Recently I found this stuff called Purium, which is a magnesium and melatonin, and it's caused me to sleep a lot deeper. And so the edge has been knocked off of me. And it's like a battery. And I've been very aware, because I have big challenges that get thrown at me when I have, 5 or 6 properties we're flipping. We got a lot of money out there, a couple $1 million, right? And so I just feel like I'm more peaceful now that I sleep deeper. The other thing I do is I compete in Ironmans, and so I run a lot. I bike a lot, I train a lot. So I get that release through physical fitness. And then, yeah, I think that's it. I play a lot too.
Okay. Good. Do you have a morning routine in place? I know, one of the hot topics out there is everybody's talking about, having a morning routine, et cetera. Like, do you wake up at the same time every single day, specific things you do every single morning?
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect yet. That book, The Miracle Morning, was the catalyst of my growth. That really ignited that personal development journey. I read that book in 2012, I think, when it first came out.
Yeah.
How's a good dude?
Yep. The last person I interviewed just a few days ago, she referenced the same exact book, and she said that's the book that made a difference, for her. And she said everybody needs to go out there and read that book. Everybody needs to create a routine, and everyone's got a routine, anyways. Is just, does the routine serve you, or does the routine, disempower you, etc. Right. So just having that awareness of, here's some things I could do every single day, and if I do them, then I would be able to accomplish more, be more, have more, etc. Is something that's very important for every single person to have. All right, so Jeff, we've had you on here for about 45 minutes, man. I don't want to take up your whole entire day. I think you and I can talk for another 45 hours, and I'm sure in the time coming, as my new friend, we will be having more of these conversations. Is there anything specifically that you feel I should have asked you that I didn't ask you that you want to answer and or speak about?
Brother, I think we covered a lot of great stuff here. I feel like just maybe people need to just understand that we are so much more powerful than what we realize. And if we can just get out of our head and into our hearts and just believe that we can create anything, and just maintain that belief as if a child would, you will open up and take the governor off of your superpowers.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of people that are we're gonna get about 25,000 downloads of this episode in the next month or so, and there's a lot of people are gonna be very grateful to have listened to you and for your sharing. And some of those people just flat out want to say thank you, and some of those people may want to send a referral your way, etc. If someone wanted to reach out to you for whatever reason they want to reach out to you, how can people find you?
Yeah, I mean, just hit me up on Facebook, friend request me. I've seen some friend requests come through already, and I'll accept it. And I mean, that's the best way to engage me. Facebook Messengers, bam, right to my cell phone. We're up here about 40 miles north of Seattle in Washington State, and that's our area we service.
Love it. Well, Jeff, I want to say I got something going on good in my life where I keep on attracting very good people into my life. I'm so happy that our worlds have finally connected, and I look forward to creating a lot of abundance for a lot of people with you. And because, we love our real estate community, and we want to help out as many people as we possibly can. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to share you with my audience and the world. I appreciate you, my friend.
Likewise, brother. I know it's no mistake that our paths have crossed, and I look forward to witnessing what unfolds here. So thank you for the opportunity.
You are very, very, very welcome.